Hey guys, ColdBlueLight here. Thanks for joining me today on this beautiful October the 15th. Winter is finally starting to get into full swing, or rather, early autumn. Well, it's going to be cold soon, is the point. Had some nice stew yesterday and worked on the game a little bit more. So last time we left off, I'd added some movement and sprinting. I did a little bit of more work over the past few days to kind of adjust that a little bit more. And let's take a look at some of the changes. I'm going to go ahead and run the game. First off, we got a new camera in, and also the screen's a lot bigger than what it was. And if we move around, we notice the camera follows us with a little bit of easing. Of course, we have jumping, which I've fixed a bug with. I no longer continuously jump when I hit the space bar. Sprinting still works as normal. And we've got a little bit of terrain changes here. I've made some sprites or made some tiles that are no longer the good old default Super Mario Brothers tiles. So we're starting to progress a little bit in the graphics department, though I still have the same background. There's a couple of little things I noticed. I'm not sure if it shows up on video, mostly when I'm moving. A little bit of a jitter, but I think that's more or less a video setting that I have to change. Not entirely sure on that. So let's go ahead and run to the end here, and we got a little obstacle. Nothing too big, just you can sprint across it and fall down. And I absolutely love how easy the camera was to make. I'll show you how you guys can set one up on your own. And if we go to the end, that's it. That's the end of our little test level so far. So not too much has changed, just a little bit more additions have been added. So let's take a look at some of the code. Head over to our scripts tab. We are using kinematic body 2D. I think I was using rigid body last time. I'm not sure. I switched to kinematic body if that's the case. So we're using a kinematic body. The walking and all that still works the same with buttons being pressed. Sprinting is the same. It's a button press. And we've added jumping. Again, just a simple button press. In this case, I've made a new set of inputs called UI jump, and we're checking if we're on the floor with the is on floor function. And if we are, then we're setting the y of our velocity value to be a negative direction so we can move upwards. And then, of course, after we do that, gravity will pull us back down. And we use is just pressed to avoid the bug where you can continually multi-jump that I was just talking about. So that's just a little bit of the changes that we've done here. The rest of it's purely cosmetic. Like I said, I've added some new tiles, and I've redone the tile map. We got two whole new tiles that we can play with now, a little dirt tile and a little dirt with grass. Nothing too fancy, but it's something to start out with. And we can remove them just like you would any other normal tile. Let's take a look at our players scene now, and I'll give you some of the camera settings. So this is the camera 2D that we have set up, and it's had a little bit of adjustments done to it. So what we have set is current. This is our current camera. This is set so that every scene knows to use this camera over the others. Nothing too major there. I'm using smoothing enabled. I set a smoothing speed of 4.75, and then I've adjusted the margins around the drag. This little blue box here. If the character moves a little bit left or right of the direction set here, it'll start to pan the camera. So I'm using a little bit of a smaller direction for the left and right side so that we can see further ahead. Otherwise, the camera lags behind us and has to catch up, so that makes it a little bit hard to navigate your stage. This is really a basic setup. We'll be changing that later. The other thing I've done was change the zoom, which I can't remember where that's at right now. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, right here. I've changed the zoom, and that's how we're getting the new view that we have in game. For running one more time, show you what I'm talking about. how everything's zoomed in like that, that's because of the camera zoom. And again, we're hitting the margins that we have set for the drag, and the camera will drag along with our character. So not too much has changed there, and we did it with very basic tools at our disposal. I simply used MS Paint to make the tiles. You guys can use any graphics program you have available. Of course, I also have Krita installed and GIMP to help out with these things. And I'm not a very good artist, but I'm learning, and you guys can learn along with me. I might do a thing where I show you how to draw some of these things. This isn't too complicated. These are real simple tiles. And the best way that you can do something like that is, again, I'll use MS Paint. I'm just going to take one of the basic shapes we have here and make sure the size isn't set to ridiculous amounts. Make sure you change this if you are going to use MS Paint, otherwise you'll get a very chunky outline, which you might want, but I didn't, so I'm going to use this basic shape here and just drag out a shape about roughly maybe there. I want to move it a little bit, kind of scale it. Well, that's pretty good. And of course, then I just color it in. Simple flat colors can produce the best results when you're just trying to get something on screen. So we're going to do that, and we're going to fill in this little gap here. Got a little gap there to fill in. And don't look quite even. I don't think it's scaled very good. Let's redraw that so it's more even, and this time we'll just use that as an outline. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little bit better. I wish I could get that corner there to match. Well, it's not going to line up completely perfect with MS Paint. There we go. Alright, so we got that. Now let's fill tool. Fill that in, and we'll also fill in our sides here really fast. Just clicking in the spaces in between so that we can use the fill tool once again to go ahead and cover this up. Whoop. Don't click off of it. We'll go ahead and cover that up, and we'll grab our green color. Now we'll just do a little bit of a pattern here. Let's see, a little bit down maybe, a little bit down. There we go. And a little bit in the center. Maybe fill it out just a little bit lower. Kind of make it look like it's got more growth on it. I'm going to do this little bit here and come down. There we go. Just something simple like that. If we zoom out, there's one tile that we can use. And you know what? Just to demonstrate, let's go ahead and save this. Save as. We're going to save it as test.png. Remember, MS Paint does not have transparency, so you're going to need something to get rid of this background. I recommend GIMP or, Krita. You can use Krita to remove backgrounds. Back inside of Godot, we now have our newest created asset in our art folder. There is tiles, there is test. So there we have it. Something you'll need to do when you import stuff is over here where your scene tab is, go to import, and then scroll down where you see filter and turn that off, and then press re-import, and now my sprite's nice and sharp. So that pretty much covers all that I've done so far. It's only been about 4 days, which isn't too bad. I also played around a little bit with water, and I want to show you guys the asset lib. This is the Godot asset store or asset library, where you can find a lot of neat stuff in here. And I've been playing with most of it. Mostly, like I said, I looked up water stuff earlier. But you can even find, if you don't want to code your own platformer, there is a kinematic platforming demo that you can use as a base to get started. I think it will show up in here. KINEMATIC. No, it's probably going to be in the main page. So let's go ahead and go to the main page. I haven't changed anything in Godot. Let's quit to my project list. Yes, open the project manager. Here we go. I already have the kinematic character from the store. Under the templates tab, when you're on your project settings, you can go here and type it in or browse through. There's lots of neat stuff. You guys should give it a look. KINE, search. Here we go. We have our 2D kinematic character demo and our 3D if you want to make a 3D game. You would just click on this and then hit download and then install, and it'll ask you to put it in a folder, and that's all you guys got to do to get yourself a good base rolling. So that's something that can help you out get started faster. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you joining me today. I'm going to keep working on this. I still haven't come up with quite what the game should be yet. I'm thinking more adventure platformer. I'm really liking the idea of Zelda 2, something going on there, something like that. Maybe a Zelda 2 meets Mario, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by today, and I'll see you next time.